Giants edge rusher, Spider-Man, Brian Burns, this guy right here, got himself off to a fast start to the season. His 2 sacks were the only real highlights in the Giants' loss to the Commanders. So I'm going to break down how he used his speed and his athleticism for those sacks. But I also have a play that shows how I do not want defensive coordinator Shane Bowen to use him again for the rest of the season and the rest of his career. So let's get into this week's Blue Rush film breakdown. All right, first play is going to show why his get off is absolutely crazy here, y'all. This is why he was one of the top edge rushers or guys who applied quick pressures in 2024. So let's play it and let's break it down. All right, Giants lined up. You see him. He plays a lot. Never really puts his hand in the ground like a traditional edge rusher. But here, boom, beats him. Easy. Beats him, sacks him, and does that dance. Now, one thing I love about this, when we rewind this back to this play on this wide, one thing I love about what he does here is he doesn't get pushed wide from this tackle. Now, you have this tight end that's right here. So that forces that end to push out in terms of his alignment. A lot of guys, because of that wide alignment, can get up the field a little too much, and a guy like Jayden Daniels can now step up in a pocket and take off. But the fact that he was able to beat this tackle clean, and before he gets to Jayden Daniels' drop point, in terms of that point to where that quarterback puts that foot in the ground before he steps up, you see him beat him clean here. He's able to bend the corner and get his arms around Jayden Daniels for the sack. Let's look at it from the tight angle because the wide just doesn't do this any justice. All right, so here we go again. Watch him here. You see the tight end, Zach Ertz here. You see the tackle right here. Again, remember what I was talking about, how some guys can get pushed wide when they go up the field, when they line up in the wide alignment. Not Brian Burns. Here we go. We'll start this play here. Just watch how this dude beats the tackle's hands with a simple club wipe. But it's simple because he uses his speed and ability to get low, to burst and round that corner. That's 6'5", bending that corner, y'all. And when we talk about NFL football, it's all about the bend, the break, and the burst. And he had all 3 on this play. Last one, because this right here, that's teach tape. Beats that tackle's upfield arm, so that tackle's right arm, beats it upfield to where he has no other arms. No, he's not Octo Man. He has no other arms to try and get hands on the Burns and get any sort of phase or push him upfield. Clean beat, gives him his shoulder, dip, rip, gets skinny, and bends, and that's why he's at. You look at the bend right there. Look how he's right here at the line. At that line, he's able to bend, keep his feet, which is absolutely crazy and athletic, and then he closes in on Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league, but the fact that Brian Burns was able to apply his skill set to that play, boom, Giants got a well-needed sack at the moment. All right, here's his second sack in the second play. He's down here. Now, this was kind of a gimme sack, but I just wanted to show how, again, his burst, how he just closes in on the guy, whoever has the football. So we'll play it. We'll go ahead and start it here. It's a busted play or great defense by the Giants secondary to kind of sniff out this quick screen, and it leaves Jayden Daniels in a terrible situation with free rushers coming off the edge. Here, great play. Jayden Daniels tries to shake and bake, tries to give him the spin move. Again, I understand that the offensive line was thinking quick screen. Great job by the Giants secondary, Drew Phillips, and I believe that's Cordell Flott, identifying the play, reading it, taking away the throwing lane. But here, you see this 5 yards of separation right here. That's Jayden Daniels. We've seen this guy make a lot of guys miss in a phone booth. So when you watch Brian Burns come together and then burst in, he burst right at Jayden Daniels. He was able to wrap him up and get the sack. That's 2 sacks on the day for Spider-Man. Hell of a day. He was the bright point on the Giants. Not only the Giants defense, but just the Giants overall. Last but not least, here's Agent Zero right here. I do not want to see this guy in coverage anymore. When I'm thinking about Brian Burns and Spider-Man, I'm thinking attack, attack, attack. Let's watch this play, because I feel like you take away from his athleticism, you take away from his skill set when you drop him in a coverage and you don't have him going after a quarterback. So here, it's on that left side again. Looks like the first play, right? But no, he backs up. He's kind of got that hook to curl. He's got that hook to curl zone. And now Jayden Daniels uses that against him. Let's go to the tight so we can really break this play down and show why, like, when you put him out in space like that and you're making him think, that doesn't allow him to play fast. All right, so here he goes. Right here. Let's line it up. Same tackle he beat earlier. Got the hands on the hips. That doesn't mean you're tired. That doesn't mean you're tired. I mean, he should be tired this game because he was getting after Jayden Daniels the entire game. But here, now he drops in coverage. Pause right there. Boom. Run it back just a little bit. Right there. Now, he is in no man's land right here. Right now, as a DN, edge rusher, outside linebacker, I don't care what you call him. I call him a freak athlete whose job it is to get after the quarterback. Right here, he's in no man's land because you have Deebo Samuel, the receiver here. You've got Jayden Daniels right here. And now with Brian Burns' feet like this and not in attack mode, they're wide and not in a place or in a base to where he can explode and go after Jayden Daniels. He's thinking right now. And as an offense, anytime that we have a lineman drop into coverage, we're going to high-low that player, whether it be the route concepts, flash somebody in front of his eyes so we can have somebody right behind him and make a play behind him, or vice versa. He gets depth and then we dump it off to the guy right in front of him. But right here, when you got a mobile quarterback like Jayden Daniels, he's in no man's land because he's thinking, do I get depth and try and play the receiver, or do I attack Jayden Daniels? Giants defense allowed Jayden Daniels to break contain, so if he doesn't honor Jayden Daniels, then he hits the sideline here, and you know he can create a big play with his legs. So right here, Brian Burns is not effective at all. He chooses, as we play this, he chooses to go after Jayden Daniels, which you have to, but again, that allows him to throw the football before Brian Burns had even declared what it is that he wanted to do. He was stuck in that no man's land and he wasn't able to play fast. Again, when he's dropping in coverage, he's Peter Parker. When he's attacking a quarterback, he is Spider-Man or Spider-Man, Brian Burns, whatever you want to call him by his government. But this dude is one of the top edge rushers in the league when it comes to applying quick pressures. So this week, it's going to be Dak Prescott. He's not as mobile as Jayden Daniels, but he gets the ball out of his hands very fast. And this is a guy that's torched the Giants defense, the last 9 years or so. So Spider-Man, not Peter Parker, is going to have to show up in Dallas if the Giants want any chance to win this game. The Cowboys have 2 solid tackles on both sides. And this is going to be a great matchup, but if Brian Burns uses that speed and athleticism to get him off the ball, oh, for sure, it's going to have another big game for him.